I don't want it too far here. I want the people that can see my face clearly. That's that.
Mm-hmm.
Focus is good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Please begin some likes. Mhm. Yeah, brother. Good day, good day, good day. How are you doing? This is Dean White, aka your blind visionaire. Today, I am here to speak to you on a condition called glaucoma. Nadine, Nadine, is there anyone? Okay, I will be waiting. So, guys, I'm going to wait until someone comes on because I was supposed to start at 1 p.m. and I am a bit early. So I'm going to wait a bit until you guys are in, till you come in for me to start my discussion based on the fact that I'm a bit early. Good day, Daniel. Thank you for coming to this live stream and this discussion on glaucoma with the blind visionary Dean White. Appreciate you coming here. I am waiting Daniel to see if there's anyone else coming in. Um, I had planned to start at 1 p.m. and I am thankful to you, Daniel, that you are on time. Okay, thanks for coming in. And I must say, if you are the only one here with me today, I am still grateful. So thank you for coming in, Daniel. Thank you, everyone who may be in the background. Now, I am Dean White, the blind visioneer, I must also say today I am going to be speaking with you very slowly so that you can understand what I am saying. I am from the island of Jamaica and I am located in Jamaica. A bit of background about myself is that I am someone who has glaucoma. Based on my investigation so far, I also have a cataract and I am someone who has hypertension. Okay, now with that in mind, I must inform you that I am totally blind. I am not visually impaired. I am not glimpsing. I am not seeing anything whatsoever. My condition is totally blind. There is nothing there except darkness. Okay, guys? Now, I am able to speak to you today about the eye condition called glaucoma due to the fact that I am someone who has been living with this eye condition, otherwise known as the eye disease called glaucoma, for a number of years. I found out about glaucoma in 2001 when it was already too late. Now, throughout our discussion today, we will be discussing a few things about this eye condition or eye disease called glaucoma. What is glaucoma, you may ask? Now, to put it simply that you can understand and get a full understanding of what I am talking about, it is when or it is a condition that destroys your optic nerves or kills off the optic nerves, and I say optic nerves, which cause you to lose your vision and go blind. Now, you might wonder, what is the optic nerve and what does it do? The optic nerve is like a thread that connects the eye to the vision part of the brain. Okay, so it's like a card that connects the eye to the vision part of the brain. Now, the optic nerves is made up of millions of different fibers. And what glaucoma does is it kills off all the fibers gradually, which means over a period of time.
Anarchy.
Good day, Anna K. Thank you for coming to this stream. Okay, you're with the Blind Visionaire discussing glaucoma. I appreciate you for coming here. Okay, now, guys, after I'm finished, if you have any questions, I welcome them and I will try to answer them as best as possible. Okay. Now, I can only answer you based on my investigation and studies, but I believe I will be thorough enough for you to be completely informed about this condition. Okay, guys? Now, the glaucoma
You are looking
destroys.
lovely today, sir.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. The glaucoma condition is something that destroys the optic nerves or kills off the optic nerves over a period of time. Okay? Apart from killing off the optic nerves, glaucoma behaves in a manner that causes the optic nerves to break off. And once the nerves continue to break, it eventually dies. Okay, guys? Now, you might be wondering who can get glaucoma. I am going to be truthful and I do not want you to be alarmed. But before I tell you this, let me tell you something first. The doctors and scientists researching glaucoma has now decided to speak to us truthfully about this condition when they inform us that anyone with two eyes is able to get glaucoma. In 2000, when I investigated about this condition, I read that glaucoma was something that was passed down from family members, which means it was something that was genetic. Now, after a 20-year period, the doctors have admitted that no one knows the cause of glaucoma. They said that it's a medical mystery. Medical mystery means they are unable to pin down the source of glaucoma, but they know and are able to tell us that a few persons are at risk for glaucoma, and also that a few other diseases that affects the human body allows persons to be a candidate for glaucoma. Also, you should know that eye trauma is one reason that a person might develop glaucoma. Another reason for a person to develop glaucoma would be diabetes, otherwise known to us in Jamaica as sugar, and other persons all over the world as sugar. Apart from that, it has now been disclosed in this later years that hypertension, persons that has hypertension is also able to develop glaucoma. Apart from that, they have informed us that once you are over the age of 60, you should do frequent eye checks to check for the condition called glaucoma because persons over 60 are likely to develop the condition. Okay, guys? But there are also a few things that you were not made aware of. Understand. Children can be born with glaucoma also. And I have gone ahead and write down a few things so I do not forget or tell you anything that is not true or not so about glaucoma. Okay? Now, I will just ask my moderator a question so I can get back to you. What's the name of the glaucoma that children are born with, Nadine? No, children are also born with glaucoma, and the doctors have given the condition
Conditional glaucoma.
are diagnosed with what is called congenital glaucoma. Congenital glaucoma. Now, understand. Not only that, but listen. When you go to do an eye check, there is this small device that is used that persons call eye pop. Now, it's a device that is placed close to the eyes and they squeeze and it shoots out a great amount of air into the eye. They use this to read what is called the mercury levels in the eye. Now, understand. There is more than one type of glaucoma. Most of the glaucoma strain is what we would say is affected or it is diagnosed by checking the eye pressure because for some strain of glaucoma the detection is the eye pressure, but there is also a glaucoma that persons have that is called normal tension glaucoma. The name is given to this glaucoma because your eye pressure can be normal. There is nothing out of place when the test is done saying that there is a pressure issue, right? And you still have the disease or the condition, okay? Normal tension glaucoma. Now, let me explain how it becomes normal. When they do that ear test, they are checking to find out how much millimeter of mercury is in the eyes. Okay, guys, now listen. Normal amount of mercury in the eyes is between 10 to 21 milliliter. right? No, anything above 21 is not normal, and it goes on up. That's not normal. Most glaucoma strain would shows a higher pressure than 21, but the normal tension glaucoma is within the limit of the normal pressure. So even though your eyes is reading pressure normally and there is no abnormality there, you still can have the condition. Please remember what I said about glaucoma. Glaucoma is a condition that continues to destroy or kills off your optic nerves. So it means that you can have normal eye pressure and your optic nerves is still being destroyed. Now listen to me carefully and listen clearly. If you
Is this a hereditary condition?
listen, all right, I've gotten a question I am going to answer. Not only I have spoken already, so let me say it again. You are at risk of getting glaucoma when you have family members that has the illness. That's one. You are at risk of getting glaucoma if you have had a serious eye trauma. You are at risk of getting glaucoma if you are over 60. You are at risk of getting glaucoma if you have diabetes or hypertension. Okay? The doctors have finally admit that they do not know what caused glaucoma. They have stated that it's a medical mystery to them because they cannot pinpoint any one thing for the cause of glaucoma, but they have found out that persons with those issues, okay, are mostly the persons that the glaucoma condition is seen in based on their studies. So they say that if you have a grandparent or a parent that has glaucoma, you should get yourself checked out on a yearly basis. Every year, you are supposed to do your eye check. If you have been injured, been hit, or any form of trauma where your eyes are concerned, you should continue to check your eyes on a yearly basis. If you have hypertension, you should continue to check your eyes on a yearly basis. Diabetes, you should check your eyes on a yearly basis. But guys, let me tell you, it is down in this late stage. The doctors are finally telling us that these are what we call risk, right? For persons who are having these situations to check for glaucoma. Because let me tell you, when I first went to check where glaucoma was concerned, all I was told to do was given a piece of paper to go and have a test done for diabetes. That test was done and the paper came back that negative for diabetes. Now, before I go any further, I will tell you something. As I spoke before, I said I am someone who has hypertension and I have a cataract on the eye that is mostly damaged by the glaucoma. But there is no use going to do a surgery to scrape a cataract from an eye that cannot or does not work, being that the condition has already destroyed the optic nerves completely and has caused the eyes to stop working. Okay, guys? Now, look at it from this point of view. Okay? They did not, at the beginning, took any precaution to say, check the young man for high blood pressure. No. They check for diabetes and then no, they check for high pressure, but not for hypertension. Now, in order, let me tell you now how this thing works. When you have glaucoma, especially glaucoma that has to do with the pressure, your eye pressure, the rising of your eye pressure. Now, we need to break down a few things so you can understand. The eye has a clear fluid. This clear fluid energizes and is also the nutrients for the eye. Okay? Our person develop an abnormal eye pressure in most cases of glaucoma. It is when this clear fluid that the eye generates on a daily basis. Nadine, I need the name of the clear fluid again.
Aqueous.
A what?
Humor.
Okay. This clear fluid is called the aqueous humor. That's the name of the fluid. And it is made from the what kind of body, Nadine?
Ciliary.
The ciliary body, right? So on a day-to-day basis, the eye produces this clear fluid. This clear fluid nourishes and energizes your eyes. But while doing that, right, it goes to an area of the eye that has a junction. And it continues to do its thing there. But once it is not drained properly from the eye, or there is anything obstructing this fluid from being what we would call from leaving certain part of the eye, and there's an obstruction, what it does, it continues to back up. So it would be like, say, you have your sink, your kitchen sink, and you put the stop in the sink and you turn on the water. Because the stop is in there, the sink continues to full and full and full and full because the fluid is being produced on a daily basis to energize and to provide nutrients for the eye, and there is no release for it. So because it isn't going out, it isn't being released, you find out that it now tends to build and build and build a pressure. So the eyeball tends to continues to expand. Now, when it does that, the weakest part of the eye starts to expand also. And once the weakest part of the eye expand, which is the pupil, it then causes a pulp. If it causes a pulp like what is on my left eye right here presently, and it is not controlled in some shape or form where that fluid can be removed or drained from the eye, eventually what is going to happen is that pulp is going to pop or burst, which cause the protein in the eye to start running out, which is very serious. Okay, guys? Now, some of the glaucoma, right, has to do with the pressure being building and building and building. And because of that, the eye nerves, which is the optic nerves, right, that's at the front of your eyes, they start to burst off or break off, as we would call it. Okay? The optic nerves right by the pupil also starts to swell. When that swell, what it does, it continues to break and destroy the nerves. So once the nerves break off, they die. Okay? Once they are dead, there is no life or vision that is going to be left in the eye. Reason for this is the optic nerves connects, okay, the eye to the brain. And if the nerves is destroyed, then there is no connection to the brain. So the vision part of the brain has no connection. It's like having a straw, right? And that straw leaves the eye, goes straight to the brains. But because inside the straw we have some strands of thread going through to connect the side, your eyes to the brain, and all those threads are broken or dies off, then there is no connection there, guys. Okay? Now, doctors have informed us that with early detection of glaucoma, a lot of persons' vision in this day and age is saved and can be saved, and persons live with the disease without going blind. Now, they refuse to tell you that, and I that, not all type of glaucoma is the same, but they prescribe the same medication for all types of glaucoma. What do I mean? Let me give you what do I mean. For the normal tension glaucoma, right? The same medication that is prescribed for the person that has the glaucoma, that is the eye pressured glaucoma, that same medication that is used to reduce the pressure in the eye for the person who has the eye pressure tension glaucoma, it's the same medication being prescribed for the person who has the normal tension glaucoma, right? Which means the pressure is normal. They are prescribed the same medication. But what you should be aware of is that For some glaucoma, there is no treatment whatsoever. You are not being told this because if you are told that, listen, whether we do surgery or we put you on the prescription drops for your type of glaucoma, you are not going to have sight after a while. You might not want to spend the money. Understand this, guys, and listen and get the point. Your eyes is very important. I believe that to most people or to everyone, the eyes is considered the windows of the world. And the moment you are having an issue with your eyes, you becomes more worried than anyone else, right, about your eyes, because there is only one pair and there is no way to surgically remove your eyes and install a different pair. So because of this, we tend to worry when it comes to our eyes. Okay, guys? Now, telling someone that, listen, the type of glaucoma that you have will never get better. It is severe. Okay? It is a severe glaucoma condition that you have, which means no matter how much medication we give you or how much surgery you do, you will still lose your vision. It's not something any doctor or pharmaceutical personnel wants you to know or me myself to know, because that means there is no money in it for anyone. You would not sell your house, your car, empty your bank account to go and do a surgery on your eyes that you know after doing the surgery will not yield result that is favorable to you. Okay, guys? So you will not be told. Also, understand something. If you are told that the glaucoma that you have, okay, is untreatable, that means when they say early detection of glaucoma will save your vision, would mean it is misleading, because early detection of the condition can save some person's vision that has the illness, but not all the persons who have glaucoma, because glaucoma is there and there are different types of glaucoma that person has. Okay, remember, there are some that pressure affects. Okay, and there are some that is none, there is no pressure at all that you are going to be seeing or feeling from that one. And there are also glaucoma that persons are born with. There are glaucomas that persons develop over time. Okay, guys? And when I say develop over time, it means that due to an eye trauma, you will develop the condition. Due to the fact that you are over 60, you develop this condition which now tends to remove your sight. Due to the fact that you might have diabetes, you develop the condition. Due to the fact that you might have hypertension, you develop the condition. And due to the fact that family members of your family might have had the condition or had the condition before, you are able to develop the condition. It is only recently that these things are pointed out to us, because in the beginning, from back in the day, persons were told that glaucoma only affects persons whose family member had the illness. I myself was one of those persons who was told this and thought to myself that, well, if that is the case, then my children would be safe. My, you know, friends who was driving the other day and someone threw something, hit them in the eye, would be safe. My persons who going down the road, and while going down the road, an insect grab onto the person's eyeball and sink its feet in the eyeball and so on, and you drag off that insect and step on it and crush it. And after that trauma, you think to yourself that, okay, everything is fine and I am good. And a few years down the road, you develop glaucoma and you now lost your sight due to all these unexpected trauma, right? We we would like to be, what we would say, vigilant where this eye condition is concerned. But guys, at times, this eye condition is something that we can do nothing about, and we are not being told, due to the fact that there is no money to be made. If everyone who has glaucoma is being told what type, what is expected, okay, and what stage of the glaucoma they are at. Now, I will tell you something that you should know, and I am speaking from experience. Glaucoma remove your sight gradually. It does its damage slowly, and it does the damage at such a slow pace that you or I will not know it is doing the damage until when it's too late. And that is the reason why the doctors keep insisting that we all do an eye check on a yearly basis, so they can maybe pick up, the issue before it is too late. Now, it is so slow that it's not even funny. You hear persons say that the hypertension is the silent killer. Well, understand, glaucoma is the silent destroyer of the human vision. And it creeps up on us over time, little by little by little. That is how it works. It does not just come one time and no, it is something that while it is doing its damage and doing what it wants, you will not know. Reason for us not knowing also is something that we need to understand, and I am telling you from experience. When we have glaucoma, right, even though we have this illness and it's affecting us where the eyes are concerned, the brain that we have does not recognize what is going on. You understand? You might be wondering what I am talking about. All right, let me tell you something. I am totally blind presently, but my brain has never told me that I am totally blind. If I am walking, my brains keep telling me that, see the light there, it is right in front of me and the place is bright. Even when it is night, it is telling me that the place is bright. And I know that's not the truth, because I know my eyes are dead. But the brains is the last thing to catch up to what is happening where the eyes are concerned. Even when your sight is gone, your brains will still tell you that you have sight, you are seeing. And because of that, a lot of persons who lost their sight due to glaucoma then receive major injuries. Okay? Because when I said major injuries, understand, if you are going somewhere and while going somewhere, there's something in your way and your eyes went out, put it that way, your eyes gone, and your brain is telling you that you are seeing and there's nothing wrong, continue. You will then go into the same direction and damage yourself. Imagine driving, okay, not recognizing, right, that there is something parked there because your sight just went on you and your brain is telling you that continue to drive, there's nothing there. You will then crash into the vehicle. You understand, or what the obstacle is. So your brain still is not working with the eye. Your brain is still saying that you are seeing, you have sight. It is like the last thing to catch up with the fact that the eyes is not working. I am tricked at time because my brains keep telling me that is right there, and when I put my hand there to pick up what it says is right there, there's nothing there. Okay? Now, glaucoma start by affecting the peripheral, let me put the word. You know what? Me did write it down, guys. I had written down the word, so when I'm supposed to call it, me get it exactly, because sometimes I don't want to tongue tie up myself. Nadine, the word that describes side vision, what is it again? No, the word that describes side vision. Okay. Glaucoma affects you by starting with your what? Peripheral vision, which means the side vision, guys. Now, it means that it will start from the side out here. Sometimes, apart from the side here, it starts from the top. So you will find out that sometimes a person that has glaucoma does not see the sky very often because it starts that darkening shade from the top. Sometimes it starts at the bottom or right here where the nose is. but it always starts from the outer side of the eyes. When it starts doing this, some persons see this and describe their vision as tunnel vision. So they are seeing straight ahead, but not at the sides. Okay, guys? So they call that tunnel vision. Now, for a person with glaucoma who is an everyday person operating in an independent manner, 95% of the time they do not observe these differences due to the fact that even though your peripheral vision is going, you tend to compensate for that by turning your head. So you understand what I am saying? Even though you're losing vision from your side, the side of your eyes, instead of recognizing that you're losing vision there, what you do is when you want to look to the side, you turn your head and look to the side. You turn your head and look to the side because you do not realize that your vision from the side is gone. So if you want to see something at the side, you would turn your head and look, not realizing what is happening. Okay, guys? You will not realize what is happening. So you will turn your head. No. Treatments. Guys, treatments. Treatments for treating glaucoma are surgery, laser treatments, and medication. You hear what I just said? Surgery, laser treatment, and medication. Now, before I go into this, let me tell you something. Have you ever dropped an eye drop in your eyes or an eye wash? And when you drop that eye wash or drops in your eyes, you would have realized something. After a few minutes, after dropping that eye wash or that eye drops in your eye, you will realize that you feel the drops come down into your nostrils. And sometimes you feel it come down in the back of your throat. It comes down in such a way that it even comes down in your mouth and give you a different where taste bud is concerned. So whatsoever you taste very, very uncomfortable. You just use their drops and you're eating on that nice tasting KFC chicken does not taste nice anymore due to the taste of the drops that is in your mouth or the taste of the eye wash that is in your mouth. But when you think about it, you did not put an eye wash or eye drops in your mouth, you put it in your eyes. Okay? Also, you start to smell that eye drops or eye wash in your nostrils, and you find out that your nostrils at times become free. You feel a bit of clog as if something comes down and then it moves away and goes out. Okay? Now, that is for the drops or the wash that you drop in your eyes. So that is something that you have put in your eyes. So your eyes consider that to be foreign. Even though some of those medication is to help your eyes, okay? They work by doing what they are designed to do, which is to reduce the pressure. In order to reduce the pressure, it goes in and try to clear the pathway or the canals of the eye to allow, right? The what the fluid is again, Nadine? Aqueous. What the name of it is? The fluid. The clear fluid. The clear fluid. At, okay, the clear fluid called the what? Axillus humor. All right, I don't think humor. Okay, that clear fluid, it goes in and try to clear the pathway for it to leave the eye. Now, what you should know is that when surgery is done, what they try to do is they try to make clear the pathway so that this liquid, clear liquid that is supposed to energize and give the eye the nutrients after it is done is drained away. Now, it has to be drained away because on a daily basis, the eye produces the amount of clear fuel or fluid that the eyes need to be energized and what we would call provide nutrients for the eyes. So every day it continues to provide. Okay. Now, surgery is done where they insert tubes to act as the canals to have this drain away done. Because sometimes these canal or pathways are clogged or blocked. So during their surgery, they would, clear the pathway and then insert necessary tubes to keep the pathway open. You understand me? So it does not get blocked. Apart from that, now, guys, medication is used to also clear the pathway. But we need to understand that all of these medication and surgery that is done, if you study them, you would have realized that they are done or they are there to only, listen, only remove the clear fluid from the eyes, which means the excess from the eyes, in order to reduce the amount of mercury that is found in the eye. Okay? The surgery is done to remove and keep the pathway clear. The medication is trying to also remove, right? Good day, my friend Misha. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate you. Any questions you guys have, you can ask when you're ready. So I am also telling you now, guys, that listen, until the doctors or scientists that is dealing with glaucoma is able to regrow or stop your optic nerves from dying off, which means until they are able to come up with a medication that stops your optic nerves from dying off, the surgery and eye drops in most cases either slow down the process or stage of the glaucoma, but it cannot prevent the glaucoma from doing the damage that it is doing. So understand, and listen clearly, the medications can slow down the progress of the condition. Okay, so the medication, once you are what we would say diagnosed early, okay, you can use your medication for as long as you live, and you might still have sight at the time of your death, due to the fact that you found out about the illness early in the beginning or the early stage, and the medication that you have been given or that you're on is slowing down the progress of the destruction of the glaucoma, which means it is slowing down the progress of the optic nerves death. Okay, so as you remember, the optic nerves continues to die off, or it continues to be pinched off. So once these nerves continue to be pinched off from each other or clinch, right, they continue to die. Once they are pinched off from each other, they continue to die. So until the medication is made to repair these optic nerves, or to make sure that the optic nerve does not die, okay, they will not be able to cure glaucoma. But they are treating it with drops and surgery, and so far some persons have been fortunate enough to discover this condition early, right? In such a way that the medications continue to slow down the process. But what about the persons who have glaucoma and the medication will do nothing for those persons, due to the fact that their glaucoma is what is called critical? In other words, it's detrimental. No matter what surgery, no matter what medication you give those persons, they will still go blind, because the glaucoma that they have will continue down its natural course of destroying all the optic nerves and making sure that we do not have any vision or sight whatsoever. What about the normal tension glaucoma? Eh?
Come back.
Wait a minute, done.
It did stop.
Eh?
Come back.
Wait a minute, done.
It did stop.
Okay. It come back again. Okay. Guys, I don't know where I was when it stopped. How far was I when it stopped? Not in a long time?
No, about 2 or 3 minutes.
2 or 3 minutes? Okay, guys, let me repeat. The glaucoma that I am hoping that one day the the scientists and the doctors and the persons that are dealing with the medicines need to work on is the glaucoma that persons that has normal tension, okay, and no matter what surgery or medication they use, those persons are still going to go blind, okay, are the glaucoma that they know is detrimental, which means no matter what they do, you're still going to lose your sight and go blind because your optic nerves is still going to die off, and you are still not going to be able to do nothing about it, is what I would really like to see, right? The doctors and scientists worked on finding a solution for. Okay, guys? Because so far, medications are working when it comes to treating the glaucomas that has to deal with eye pressure. Also, persons with glaucoma should know that when you are going to do your eye checks, the doctors recommend that at no point in the eye test or check you have any form of tension, right? What do I mean tension? If you realize that when you go to the eye clinic to do an eye test or eye check, they do something. They put you in a chair, and it's a reclining chair, and they bring back that chair, but they make sure that your head level is above your knee because they want you to be relaxed and as comfortable as possible. When you are relaxed and they come with the device that does the ear pop, you find out that they get a more accurate reading of the eye pressure, because if you are not relaxed and they do the check, they might get a reading that is false based on the fact that you are not relaxed, and because you have tension, your eye pressure raised due to the fact that there's a tension or a stress issue you are dealing with at the time. So most doctors or eye clinics tends to make you very relaxed as possible. Also note, when you have something like glaucoma, it is advised that you make sure you have something under your head at nights when you sleep that will elevate your head higher than your chest. If not, it is found out that your eyes tend to be under a lot of pressure when your head falls below your chest. What do I mean? When your head falls back lower than the height of your chest, when you turn your head like this or you turn your head like this, they have found out that your eyes are under a lot of pressure and stress at that time. But once your head is elevated, it is way better for the human being body. Okay, guys? Now, I no elevated, and that is for the human. No, can someone please close that door or catch it for me, please? So, guys, glaucoma. Glaucoma. I had to go back in my memory, guys, and I must say If you have high blood pressure, please check yourself. If you have diabetes, please check yourself. If you have any eye trauma whatsoever, check yourself. They have said that you are to check yourself constantly. Now, guys, really and truly, even though glaucoma is a condition that all of us should be aware of, right? I must say that I have lost sight in both eyes, and I am of this view that when I was about 10 or 12, somewhere there, I was taken to the KPHI doctor. And if a test was done from that time until now, and I was on my medication, I believe my sight might have been saved. I also believe that if I did not spend so much time in the salt water in the Kingston Harbor on a daily basis, swimming as a child, maybe my eyes would have been, you know, perfectly fine, or the condition would not have affected me so greatly. It might have slowed down a bit. Okay. Apart from that, I need persons that experience glaucoma and are living with the situation to be aware of something. Guys, from time to time, you have glaucoma and you are prescribed 5, 6, or more drops. But for a glaucoma patient, you know that on some of your eye drop box, it will say R eyes, so it means right eye, and some of them will have L eye, which means left eye. So for the drops, some of them is different, right? So they might give you 5 different drops or 6 different drops, and 3 is for the left eye and 3 is for the right eye. Okay? Reason for this is because even though glaucoma affects the eyes, the glaucoma that is affecting a person's eye can be at different stage. So even though you have, okay, good day, my friend Kerisha. How are you doing, Miss Royal? Appreciate your support. Thanks for coming. So even though your eyes, right, might have the same condition or the same, are going through the same issue or illness, the eyes can be at different stage of the condition. You understand? So, in other words, more optic nerves, right, might have died in the left eye, right, from the amount that have been destroyed in the right. Okay? Now, some patient, when they go to doctor, the doctor will tell them that the nerves is totally detached. What does that mean? The nerves is totally detached. It means that the entire optic nerves body has been disconnected from the part of the brain that deals with vision. So they have said to you that the nerves has been detached or separated. It means that there is no optic nerves connection between the vision part of the brain and the eye. In that case, you do not have any vision in the eye. Okay? Persons are of the view that in that case, they can surgically connect the nerves. I do not know about that, but when nerves is detached in this aspect, it means that it has died. Okay, and if it has died, it's not doing anything. Okay, the thread has fully died off and is not making any connection anymore. Persons who have glaucoma are often put on the drops, and while you're on the drops, you should note a few things. A few of the drops are steroid driven. Also, a few of the drops has been made with marijuana. Also, you might see on your eye drops box, use 1 hour before operating a vehicle. It means that once you start using these drops, you are going to be experiencing some very serious drowsiness, guys. And I mean serious drowsiness. Drowsiness that when these drops goes into the eye, you will at times be driving and physically fall asleep based on the time that you put the drops in your eye. If you are a person who works at night and you use these drops, it is going to be very, very difficult for you to stay up after using these drops, because the drops takes a toll on your body and your eyes in such a way that it needs you to rest the eye. Okay, guys, it is saying, listen, the eyes need to be closed and you need to allow the eyes and the drops to work in the way it needs to work. Now, understand something. A person that is using any form of eye drops for glaucoma, always notice that when they awoke, there is a lot of debris on their face. The amount of things that comes out of the eyes would surprise you. Okay, guys, it is very surprising and alarming, because sometimes you feel up here by the eyes and you feel as if you just push out a whole heap of gravel or sand out of your eye, and you're wondering where these tough things come from that is coming out of your eyes. Okay, guys, but that's how the drops work. The drops tends to go in and try to clear the pathway, and because of that, you find out that a lot of the liquid that has been backed up in the eye and blocking the canal by hardening, the drops now tries to remove it. So by trying to remove it, you will find out that your eyes will get very sticky to the point it feels as if there is glue on both your eyelid. Okay, like there's some form of glue. And from time to time, persons looking on at a person that used the drops might see their eyes and said, whoa, that look very messy. You understand me? From time to time, a person might have to even take a rag or tell you to take a rag and wipe your eyes because your eyes is looking very disgusting due to the fact that the drops is placed in there and the drops is doing its work and it is moving what it can move and everything is coming out and it is looking a bit terrible. Okay, guys? So please note, once you're using these eye drops for glaucoma condition, you need to make sure that you get a lot of rest before doing any form of driving or operating any form of machinery. If it's even one handsaw, guys, be careful. You do not want to have one handsaw in your right and falling asleep and running that same saw over your left hand. No. You need to be very, very careful what you do. You need to get a lot of rest, guys, when you use your drops. A lot of rest. Now, I have said what I need to say, and I am glad that you guys are here and you have made yourself present to listen to my discussion, to inform you about what is happening where glaucoma is concerned. Thanks, I appreciate it. Now, if you have any questions whatsoever, I will try my best to answer them. So could you please type them in the comment area? Is there anyone looking on this platform that needs any form of information where glaucoma is concerned? I believe I have been very thorough, right? But if there's anything that I missed out, you know, I can always reason with you about it presently, so please send your questions. I will wait a few minutes, you understand me, to see what is your question, what you might want to know, what you might want to ask. And if it does not even have anything to do with glaucoma, I will still be able to answer your question. So just ask and I will try my best to answer. Nadine, can you please check the phone for me to see if there's anyone asking? Huh? Okay, I just asked anyone who needs to ask a question. Okay, Nadine, everyone on the platform has a blue jacket? You sure? I believe that the first two persons that came on, they were fairly new persons. So can you come and give them the jacket for me?
Dean,
Yes.
people who say ever come on, they don't need no jacket. That's the way of the deal.
Okay, boy, guys, I am blind and I'm telling you that every day I am more sorry that I am blind. Believe me. I am really of the view
No,
that
I'm also on me talk to me. Let me give everybody the jacket. Let me give them it hand down.
I could have been doing what I am doing by myself. You understand, guys? But at times I have to depend on others to assist. And it is, sorry, guys, I did not give you any jacket from beginning.
Okay, brother.
Right? Because I was so entrenched in
see it there.
Doing the live and passing on the information, guys, that I forget that you guys need to communicate with each other. I know there are a few persons here that have already had their jackets and are communicating, but I need everyone in this platform. If you want to ask a question or you want to communicate with someone, you can go ahead and do so. I do not have a problem sitting here with you and allowing you to do what you need to do. All you have to do is tell me when I should close the live stream. Okay, guys? That's your thing. Now, any questions whatsoever? Right? I know I am always a thorough person where information is concerned, but I know that there must be someone who has a question and need me to answer. So just go ahead. Okay. All right, let me give you a bit more information because you have no questions so far. Nadine, any questions? Okay. You have no questions so far.
Somebody said great information.
Okay, thank you guys. Now listen, over the years in Jamaica here, the KPH, which is the Kingston Public Hospital, the University of the West Indies Hospital, has been the two main hospital in Jamaica that deals with, and I think the Cornwall Regional Hospital has been the three main hospital that deals. Okay, and Mandeville. There's a hospital in Mandeville also that deal with eyes, I think. Okay, guys. Um, I have been a patient for the KPH, which means the Kingston Public Hospital, for a number of years. And
Some care said, Dean, what is their greatest struggle in Jamaica being blind? And what opportunities of sources are offered by the government?
greatest struggle in Jamaica being blind, my friend, is that no one believes or trusts that a blind man is able to do and perform an honest day's work. Okay? And when I said no one believes, I mean no one. A lot of persons, okay, even if they, all right, let me show you and let me explain. I am a blind person whom I am fully able to do electrical, plumbing, okay, some level of technician work, which means, we're ceiling fans and some tech, electronics appliances are concerned, I am able to repair them. I am able to install door locks, which means the door doesn't have any hole and I am able to cut the holes and install what needs to be installed and fit the lock and everything. And that door will close perfectly fine, no issues, right? I am able to install face basins, toilet bowls, you know. I am able to do a bit of tiling, painting, and so on. I am a person who is physically able to weed my yard, build computers, I, along with my wife, construct outfits, right? I cook, okay? I am able to scour any amounts of pot, wash plates, and
Misha said, Dean, what are the advantage being blind?
okay. I'm coming, Misha. I will get to your question, right? Just give me a minute. Let me finish Kara's one. And even though I am able to do all this, when I put myself out there, due to the fact that I am blind, I am not given the opportunity to do the job that I am able to do. Also, persons want to go the route of asking, where is my diploma in these fields? Now, remember, from we were growing up, guys, our parents, our uncle, our grandfather, our virgins, and so teaches us skill. We have been learning skill over and over and over from each other without getting diplomas. And some of us are very good trade personnel. You understand me? But persons are going to come with this type of argument which makes no sense. Okay, guys? Now, from the government side, right? I cannot bash any government, right? And I must say, I have seen where the government in Jamaica has been making some steps to uplift the disability. It is the Jamaica Disability Council. You understand? They have given them some strength in some aspect, and they are moving with a few legislation and so on to try to put measures in place to make sure that the persons that are disabled, whether blind, deaf, dumb, they are treated humanely and fairly. They have also moved ahead with assisting persons with disability, whether blind, deaf, dumb, crippled, and so on, with accessing what is called a path benefit. Okay, it is not any great deal of funds. Let me tell you, it is no great deal of funds for some persons because some of us responsibility are very great. You understand me? But it is a drop in the bucket that sometimes assist with some things. Some of the children that we have as persons with disability are assisted at school with what is called path lunch, and from time to time, like every 60 days or so on, they are given a small stipend of 3,000 Jamaican dollars or 4,000 Jamaican dollars. Okay, sometimes they are given a bit more, like 4,006 or 4,300, but sometimes it varies. You understand me? But it is on the side of 4,000, between 4, 5, and 3 something. Okay, guys? Now, for a 60 days period, that's not enough. That is no money whatsoever because transportation alone, you understand me, in just maybe 2 weeks, gone with all of that money. You understand me? And that money, when it is given, it is said that it is to provide, to assist the parents in providing for the child. And we know that food now, $3,000 cannot feed any child for 60 days. But we are the owners of the child. The government does not own our child, and they were the ones who bring them into this world. So it is still our responsibility. It is just unfortunate that we end up having a disability, or we are experiencing a disability that has limited our ability to make meaningful contribution, or for persons out there to think that we are able to make meaningful contribution to society in a way that we are able to financially maintain ourselves. I All right. Misha asked a question, and she asked, "What are the disadvantages of being blind?" I believe that Misha, for some, hmm?
Care say, um, I pray that your channel reaches the correct target audience so that you can mentor and encourage your people who are struggling with blind.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that, Carisha. I also praise also, but I must let you know that I do not believe in doing this channel for just one set of persons. I believe in reaching everyone. When I said everyone, I mean that everyone who really has certain issues that we can sit and discuss and relate to. You know, I am not thinking about just the blind or the deaf or the dumb. I am thinking about everyone, whether they are physically challenged or mentally challenged, or they are just there wanting to relate to someone or to speak with someone. You know? Now, disadvantages of being blind. Misha, there is not a lot of disadvantages. And based on where you are in Jamaica, there is no disadvantages either. And I am going to explain to you why I said this, my friend, in details. Um, when we go to a blind person like myself, go to the NCB bank, right? The NCB bank has a policy that states that, listen, the blind and the pregnant does not stand up in the long line and wait for hours and hours along with the rest of persons before you deal with them. The disabled and the pregnant persons are to be addressed immediately when they come into the bank. Okay? But not all banks has that policy, Misha. Not all banks. What do you say, my moderator?
Misha say yes, and disadvantage and advantages.
Okay. See, not all banks has that policies, my friend. Now, as a blind man, in some places, when I go in, the advantage is that some places, some persons will see me, and because I am blind, they approach me immediately and they said, "Come, sir." And they call me when and say, "What you doing today?" And after asking me what I am doing today, they will then go ahead and address me and assist me with getting through very quickly. Now, Misha, when I go to a clinic in Jamaica here, whether I'm going for myself or I take the children, majority of the time, I have to wait and draw myself on the bench like everybody else. The blind, the dumb, the deaf, the cripple is not addressed. Not even the elderly is not addressed differently in these places. Okay, my friend? They are left till sometimes I observe that persons, especially elderly, has dizzy and fainting spells and so on. Okay, my friend. In Jamaica, in my own little Jamaica here, my friend, I have observed that when me as a blind man step on the bus anywhere in a town, even though the JUTC bus are designed with seats that are for the disabled person, the able-bodied person sitting in the seat refused to get up and give us the seat that was designed and put there for us. And let me tell you, I have observed this physically, right? This is something that I am telling you based on my experience, that even when the driver stop the bus and decide that he's not going to move until them get up out of the seat so me can get the seat, or the crippled person can get the seat, they sit in that seat and threaten the driver, let him know, say, them nah come out. And anyhow in a drive the bus, what and what them going doing. Okay, that is how ear at times is operate. It is very um helpful, right? When we go to some places in Jamaica here, and as a disabled or a blind persons, we are treated and addressed quickly. I must tell you that for a few places, I take my hat off to them, which is the advantage, because I remember following Nadine to MoneyGram, and because I and Nadine is going in, MoneyGram was full, and persons reach out on the step. And because I was walking with Nadine, the security said, come in, come, don't stop there, and bring me inside. And I wait on two persons that was at the counter. And as they were finished, I was brought to the counter. You understand me? And Nadine collected what she was collecting, and we left. And I must say, I have seen it done twice at that establishment. But I have even been to KFC, my friend. And let me tell you, just like how you see it look as if food is given away in there, is not you're spending your money. We all have to stay in there and wait according to what they call our turn. Now, understand something. For a person who is disabled or blind, when they come out on the road, majority of the time they have to come out on the road because they have to do what they have to do while they are out on the road. Now, how I believe the society should really assist is to make sure that whatever we are doing is done in a quick and efficient manner when we enter certain establishment, so that we are able to leave the road before night, right? But I have realized that in a lot of establishment, they do not pay us any attention. They do not care about the disabled, the blind, the crippled, or even the pregnant. Okay, I have taken vehicles where I'm the blind man, and have to get up and give the pregnant lady my seat. Yes, I have to get up and give the baby mother my seat, or the elderly my seat. And when I am done, persons just sit down and say, what a nice man. And then get up and then give the woman him seat. That man, they are good man, really. And they are still sitting down. You understand me? That is how persons keep operating. And I must say, I am a type of person who does not allow a lot of things to get me down or to affect me, right? I have recently observed that when I go to the bank, JN, Jamaica National Bank, the security has made it a point of duty to, from I enter the bank, he takes me to a little side there to stand, and he goes to the teller and inform the teller that I am there and what I am there to do, and then I am addressed in a short and efficient manner, which is one of the plus. I am glad for that. You understand me? Because let me tell you something, even in the bank, like JN, it's always full and persons have to wait until numbers are called. And I find myself going in there a few times and it's placed in seat to sit down with a number, and I am there for hours. So recently I have realized that they have done a bit of adjustment, and I am welcoming that adjustment. Now, I must say, establishments such as Juicy Beef in Old Harbor, guys, securities at Juicy Beef don't have any respect nor manners, and they do not know how to deal with people there, especially one security. He believes that he can speak to customer any way and anyhow. And I believe that he's not fit for that location and should be removed from there. Okay? So I do not know when they are going to address it, but I believe to myself that if they do not, he's going to be harmed at that place due to his behavior. Okay? Now, really and truly, when we as blind persons go to places like the NHT, we are, let me say, the NHT in Kingston at 4 Park Boulevard, we are asked to hold on and then we are addressed, but we are addressed in a very timely manner. Now, my friends, being overseas, I will say something, and this is something that I would like my government, the government of Jamaica, to really address and sort out. Understand? The NFT has some things called grant, and they are saying that they are disability grant. So they are saying these grants are for person with disability. And these grants are anywhere from 300,000 to 350,000. Now, for some of these grants, the NHT says it's a grant that is given to the disabled, no payback. The disabled does not have to pay back any money. This grant is free. Okay? But look at this now. A person who? Okay, good day, my friend Tamian. How are you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful day today. I am here trying to give some meaningful information, so please stick and stay, my friend. Okay. Now, the NHT says that the grant is for persons with disability. But I am a person with disability who has been trying to access this grant for over 7 years, and I've not been able to. Guess why? They inform me that due to the fact that I do not pay NHT contributions anymore, I am not eligible for the grant. Now understand this. NHT and NIS contribution was something that I paid when I was employed. I had to be employed to pay these grants. Okay? Now, they listen me, may I show you, how the system is being unfair and set up. I had to be employed to pay these grants. While I was employed, I tried to pay these grants over the counter, and they said no, they cannot accept the grant over the counter. It has to be paid by the company that I was employed to. Okay? After losing the job, okay, not being employed to the company anymore, I started paying my mortgage over the counter. All four accounts over the counter because they used to state that it has to be paid from my salary. Okay? Now, I used to pay all four accounts out of my salary. Now that I am not working anymore because the company had went ahead and do what they did and send us home and so on, we are now out there. So I decided to go in and pay this over the counter. I started paying my mortgage over the counter for years now. I've been paying my mortgage over the counter from 2007. Okay, over the counter. I go into the NHD and paid from 2007 until now. I am not working with any company or anyone, and they are saying that if I am not paying the NHT contribution, I cannot be eligible for the grant. But in order to pay the contribution, you have to be working with a company or an organization. You understand me? Which means those persons have to be paying your salary so they can check how much and what percentage of your pay is to go towards contribution. I am a disabled person who has not been working. So how is it that you, the government now, is going to state that yes, the grant is for a disabled person, but then put this big roadblock in the way stating that I have to be paying contribution when it's a working person that pays contribution. No, it is said that you do not have to be a working person to pay contribution. You can just go to the tax office and pay contribution. No, with this, I tried to get myself in that situation to go to the tax office, but they informed me that I have to go down to Crossroad where the the housing trust has a building down there. And when I went there, I was told that I, yes, could pay over the counter, but I would have to be earning something like $15,000 per week to pay the contribution and so on. So right away, I found myself now in a bigger roadblock than what I was facing at the NHT because now I went to the NHT office that they directed me to, saying that yes, I should go and check to find out what can be done there. And they are telling me that as a matter of fact, the lady thought that I had my disability because I had an injury while on a job or something. And when I come there to investigate, it was because I was receiving a payout as if I had a settlement due to the injury. And based on that settlement, I would be getting like $30,000 per fortnight. And now I would then pay some 5 or 15% of that as contribution, which is not the case. Now, when I look at these little, what I would say, roadblocks that are placed there, it means that really and truly, even though they say that the grant is for persons with disability, the grant is not. Because persons with disability, majority of the persons with disability in this country do not have a job. They are not given that opportunity to work. Now, I know of a few persons that are working as receptionists, right, with the tax office, with Ministry of Labor, and with the Kingston Public Hospital. Yes, but these persons are persons that went to school of the disabled. They were born blind, grew up there, and they did their studies and were placed in these jobs. And they have been carrying on these jobs for a while, ever since. But from these persons have been placed in these jobs, persons that are now going blind and so on are not being considered for these type of job. Even at the Jamaica Disability Association Council, I saw them putting out memo the other day for workers, and throughout the entire process of seeking workers for the place, no one with disability was offered a job at that establishment. And I was thinking to myself, this is the Council for Persons with Disability, Jamaica Councils for Persons with Disability. So how is it that even though it's a council for persons with disability, it is all sighted and physically able persons working in these places? They do not decide that, listen, let's get the persons that are disabled trained. Let's get these persons the knowledge and the expertise to operate. Let's get the software in place, like the JAWS software in place on the computer. So, because listen, I know Jamaica for Councils for Persons with Disability that was at the NIS office on Ripon Road a couple of years ago. I don't know if it's still there. There was a lady there by the name of Miss Chana, and that lady was totally blind. And that lady typed some serious letters. When I said letters, letters that, yes?
That is true. I've been turned away from simple jobs due to disability.
Okay. Sorry about that, Tamian. I know persons have the stigma where persons with disability are refused jobs, are refused high-paying jobs also, and they are refused even the chance of getting a break to show that they are able to do these jobs. See, now what I realize, guys, is that we as disabled persons are now having a challenge of what we are now having to do is to create our own jobs. That is what we are now having to do. That is the situation that we are left with. The persons that are sighted will not trust us and will not give us the opportunity. The government will not give us the grant that he says is for the person with disability. That $350,000 is not given to the blind person because according to the government or the crippled person, according to them, we are not given that money because we do not pay NIS or NHT contribution. When we are not working people getting a salary on a fortnightly basis or a weekly basis to pay NIS or NHT, they are going to say, then how is it that we as disabled persons pay our mortgage? One way we are able to pay our mortgage, and it's the same way how all disabled persons are able to pay their mortgage. I beg it. You understand me? That is all we are able to do. Beg it or depend upon family members because there is nothing else to do to pay our mortgage. And why we have to depend or why we have to go to this route? Because what we have already worked and tried to earn for ourselves, we do not want the government to come back and take it, because right now, this that I am in right now, I have already gone ahead and paid some 20 odd years worth of mortgage for this place. and I have 4 or 3 years left, which is not much. But over the years, because I have been charged so much interest, okay, on the little loan that I got or that we got, you find out that I have paid so much money already through my teeth. It's not funny. You understand me, guys? And at the moment, we only have like 4 years leave. There is no way I am trying to forfeit any loan now when I am almost at the finish line. You understand me? I know plain and straight say I don't even have 400,000 left to pay. You get what I am saying? I don't have 400,000 left to pay. And I would really like to get the government off my back so I can breathe and then stop doing what I need to do or what I can do to pay this mortgage off. No way.
Misha say too much discrimination when it comes to disability. They are not educated. And then Kerisha said, ignorance, shake my head. She said, but Dean, if the country has more opportunities, you could have a job because you are talented, or if corporate organizations step up and fund charities, disability disabled people could use their skills. But then she
Amen.
said, deal mortgage are a scam. It's because we can't do any better.
Okay. Understand, guys, you have all valid points and contribution, and I must say you are correct. You are correct. I know mortgages are a scam, and I know even this grant argument is just a way of saying the money is there for we when it's not. Because if it's there for us and we are not getting it, what is happening to it? You understand me? It is being siphoned off and gone to whomever it is going to go to. I don't even know what's happening, but I know that as a disabled person, I am not getting it. Okay? Now, the persons with the disability is not trusted, is not allowed, are not even given a chance to showcase their skills or talent. I must say, on a serious note, that a person who is disabled might have to go back and retrain himself for certain skills, right? That he's going to go out there to do. You understand me? But watch me and understand something. Let me explain something to you guys. I stated that I am a person who is able to do electrical, and I consider myself to be very proficient in electrical work. Why not say, all right, this blind man say him is an electrician and can do this and do that. Why not say, all right, get this contractor that is building house with the government. Hire that blind man and ask the blind man to install, make the blind man then go install the receptacles them and all of the switch them to make a little living then. You get what I am saying? Give the blind man the job to install the receptacles and the switch. Give him the job then to draw the wires or wire the place. Because let me tell you something, as a blind man wiring the place, I do things a bit differently. And when I finish, everyone will know that it's done and what is being done. Because all I am going to ask anyone that is around me is, what color wire is this? And from I ask that question, I am gone clear. Because when you are wire in place, majority of the time it takes 2 persons, because one person has to be making sure that the wire is clear and unwrapped so that when you are drawing it through the fishing line, it does not twist together and wrap up, create that bump and so on. So there is nothing wrong with giving even a blind man like me the chance to do the electrical work. And one whole heap of building houses where the government a build and want people to put in on the box and switch, put in breaker in a breaker panel box, put on the panel box cover. I have no problem doing all of these things and make sure the place light up. Go put in out there, so come so boom bang, draw on the pattern, get the wires them down in the meter socket and all of that. I am able to do all of this. You understand me? Why is it that, all right, then I say, all right, make we give the youth a chance to see if the doors them where we are going to install, him can install the lock them and so. No, they would not even think about giving us that opportunity. But yet still they have contractors where them give millions and they don't do anything then. Today them put on the door and by tomorrow when the door slam two times, the lock drop off and people take the door and take the toilet bowl and the face basin and everything out of the buildings. You understand?
They get rid. The worlds of Regos, Ellen, Goga, Life with Andrea J and family.
Okay. Good day, guys. Thank you. I appreciate. Is this a Goga raid?
Yeah, Goga raid.
Okay, what a one, chairman. Bless up yourself. Thank you guys for coming by. Goga, big up yourself. Thank you for the raid, sir. Appreciate it.
The name them now. Yeah.
All right.
The world of Regos.
The world of Regos, thank you for coming by. Large up yourself, sir. Thank you for coming by the world of Regos. Oh? Ellen, thank you for coming over to the blind Visionaire Dean White. Goga, thank you for coming over, chairman. Thank you.
Life with Andrea J and family.
Life with Andrea J. I appreciate your support. Thank you for coming to this live stream. I am known as Dean White, the blind Visionaire.
Cross Farm,
big up yourself, sir. Big up yourself. Thank you for coming by, Cross Farm.
Kenvish.
Ken what?
Kenvish. Kevnish.
Kevnish, thank you for coming by to Dean White, the Blind Visionaire channel. I appreciate your support, sir. Appreciate you being here. Kenvish, okay. Well, thank you for coming by. Thank you for your support. Sorry if I had addressed you wrong there, my friend Kenvish.
Nate
Chovy, big up yourself, sir. Big up yourself. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate your support. Nate Chovy, miss, appreciate your support. Thank you.
Bold Pictures Garden.
Bold Pictures Garden. Thank you for coming by. My moderator is reading, so
Keisha.
I'm listening. Keisha, large up yourself. Thank you for coming to this live stream. I appreciate you coming by. Michael, thank you for coming to this live stream. I appreciate you guys for coming over. Thanks for your support. Really appreciate the support. Thank you, Mr. Goga. Also, Simone TV.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for coming over here, Simone TV. I appreciate your support. Thank you for your love and your guidance also. I know that you are a very good supporter. Goga is also a very good supporter, but I have seen some new friends here. And guys, please, I am asking you to like the channel. And what? Unfiltered. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate you guys very much. Love the support. Thank you for supporting the Blind Visionaire Dean White. Okay, guys, can you please give me a like? Give me a like, please. All right, thumbs up. Fluffy Diva. Hold on. Fluffy is here, really and truly. My friend Fluffy. Fluffy don't go to work as yet. Fluffy is here for now. Thank you for coming by to this channel, my friend Fluffy.
M-I-R-R-Y. Guys, don't be offended if I don't call your name properly.
Miri, that is one. M-I-R-R-Y. Now, Miri, that? Miri, thank you for coming by, Miri. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming over to this live stream. Thank you for supporting me. Now, guys, listen, my live stream today. Oh my, you came way late, but maybe I can recap some things. All you have to do is just throw your questions at me. I will make sure I answer them correctly and promptly. But this live stream that I was doing today was all about glaucoma. Okay, guys, I have been there with the other persons that were here. Now I'm going to ask you, please, guys, give me a like or a thumbs up. Please give me a like, a thumbs up. Share my channel and let everybody know that I am here and I am speaking to you today about glaucoma. Now, I was speaking about glaucoma from earlier on, and persons was wondering what is glaucoma, right? And glaucoma is an eye condition or disease that destroys the optic nerves, causing blindness, right? Which means you lose your vision. Okay, guys? Optic nerves. No, there was a few things that I have made persons aware of. And since you guys are here now, I am going to be recapping and running through a few things just for your benefit, guys. I do not know if this is okay with you, but I am going to go ahead anyway. Now, doctors have finally now comes out to tell us as persons that they do not know what causes glaucoma, right? They say glaucoma is a medical mystery, and as a medical mystery, they cannot pinpoint any one thing that is the cause for glaucoma. Okay? Now, understand this also. They have also gone ahead and have informed and now finally admit that there is not one type of glaucoma. Glaucoma is also not inherited from persons alone. Okay? When I said inherited, there was once a couple of years ago when I just got glaucoma, I was told that, right? I got the illness because my family member had the illness, okay, which was my grandmother by my father's side and my mother, which is my mother, because she had it. I, being the first child, it was passed down to me. Now, doctors have discovered that glaucoma can be passed down through the genes that way, but also everyone who has two eyes in their head can get glaucoma, can have glaucoma, due to the fact that it is now discovered that glaucoma can develop in person that had eye trauma. Eye trauma means being hit in the eye, some damage to the eye. Okay. It is also discovered that glaucoma can be developed in persons that has diabetes. It has also been admitted that persons with hypertension can also have glaucoma. It can develop in that person as well. It has also been said that persons over 60 can develop glaucoma due to their age. But what is very surprising is the fact that a child can now be born with glaucoma. Welcome, MN. Welcome, sir. Appreciate you coming by. Thank you for coming to the stream. Thank you for supporting your blind Visionaire DMY today, sir. I am here, doing what needs to be done. And I I'm hoping to receive good news from you, MN. The house is finished now, or what? Anyway, now glaucoma can be developed in just a child who has just been born. Arrived as yet. MN, please like the stream for me. Please like up the stream, NN. And passengers that are on the way, please travel safely. Please travel safely, guys. So now, MN, today I am discussing glaucoma with my fellow personnels on this live stream. And please just stay tuned and listen, right? Because what I have learned based on the studies, of course, yes, my general, thanks. What I have learned recently throughout all the studies that I have been doing so far is that anyone who has two eyes in their head is able to get glaucoma. Okay? And as I said before, glaucoma is the destruction or death of the optic nerves, right? Now, optic nerves, persons might be wondering what is the optic nerves? The optic nerves is like a set of vein which is like a thread that connects the eye to the vision part of the brain. Red Room, big up yourself, General. Thank you for coming over, Ninja. You know, it looked like you decided to make the plane left you and jump from some trees to trees to trees to reach, but you're still here. So once you arrive, you traveled safely, sir. Thank you very much. Now, the optic nerve is that thread that connects the eye to the vision area of the brain. The area of the brain that deals with vision. Okay, guys? Now, the area of the brain that deals with vision, that is what connects it. Now, what glaucoma does is glaucoma. Who? Rebecca, thank you for coming by. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for coming to Dean White, the Blind Visionaire channel today. I appreciate you for coming by. Appreciate your support. And as you know, today my discussion is about glaucoma, and I am going to do a quick run through for persons who have just arrived. So let me go through. What is glaucoma, as you'd said, and as I told you, it's the destruction or death of the optic nerves which connect the eye to the vision part of the brain.
It's a
No.
parachute out the plane before landing my ninja.
Right. The parachute out of the plane and the plane still land before you, brother. Why you never just stay in there? Sure.
We'll say 8 more to the goal, and then Rebecca said, "My pleasure."
Okay, thanks, Rebecca. Thanks for coming by,
And she
man.
said-
Appreciate.
My pilot, she said she went to the bathroom, restroom.
And the pilot leave you?
No, she went to the restroom. She had to the pilot, so she went to the restroom.
Okay, all right, thanks. At least you're here still, Rebecca. At least you're here. Okay, so now, guys, Nadine, my paper with the little information that I have written down. Come here. What's name again? Let me see.
You can't even come in the lips. Come. Glaucoma that children are born with is called congenital glaucoma.
All right.
mercury. 10 to 21 million of mercury is normal.
Milliliter. All right. What else?
Clear view fuel color accelerate.
All right. What I had up here?
Normal
Okay. All right.
tension.
All right.
Glaucoma,
All right.
normal eye pressure.
All right. The optic nerves, right? Now, when the nerves has millions, the optic nerves is a millions of different branch. Okay, and where what the glaucoma does is it kills off the optic nerves. In some case, it breaks off the optic nerves, and when it breaks off the optic nerves, once it breaks off, it dies. It automatically dies. Okay. Now, there are more than one different types of glaucoma, and glaucoma affects persons more than one different way. Now, understand, there is a glaucoma that is considered to be normal tension glaucoma, right? Now, when you go to the doctor to check your eyes for glaucoma, you would have realized that they have a little small device that they come over and they look in your eyes and they press it and you feel that pop of hair and it blows and they read, right, what is happening. Now, that ear pop instrument is what is used to measure how many millimeters of mercury the eyes have in, right, is in the eye at the present time when you come to do the test. Now, for the normal person eyes, 10 to 21 millimeters of mercury is normal. Okay, 10 to 21. Above that, you are now in the danger area, which means that anything over 21, you are now looking at a glaucoma candidate, right? So 10 to 21 millimeters of mercury, that is the normal eyes. But now there is more than one type of glaucoma. And you find out that even though most glaucoma has to deal with the eye pressure, there is also a glaucoma that is called the normal tension glaucoma. Why is this glaucoma called the normal tension glaucoma? Because even though your eye pressure is normal, the reading of the mercury is between 10 to 21, you can still have this type of glaucoma even though your eye reading is normal. Okay, guys? In other words, it means that even though your eye reading is normal, the optic nerves can still be dying off or breaking off and dying. Okay? So the optic nerves, even though you have the normal eye pressure, this glaucoma continues to destroy your optic nerves, killing off the nerves, right? And making sure that you lose your vision until you are completely blind. Okay, now, there is also a glaucoma that children are born with. This glaucoma is called congenital glaucoma. That's when a child that is born and reach a certain age, when they do the test and check, they find out that this child has glaucoma. So glaucoma right now, the doctors have found out is not a old people disease or illness. It can affect both old, it can affect young, it can affect person with diabetes, hypertension, it can affect the person who has family members that has the illness, right? Or someone in the family that has had the illness, it can be passed down. So you can get glaucoma more than one different ways or due to more than one different cause. So the doctors are now finally admitting that they have no way of telling a person what is the cause for glaucoma. They can tell you that there are a few risk persons who have risk or high risk of getting glaucoma, but they are not able to tell you why they get it, where it originates from, and so on. They can tell you the risk factor, but not directly. They are now saying that it is a medical mystery. Now, understand this now. The eyes for glaucoma that is associated with the eye pressure. Let's break down how this works. Okay, guys? Why there is pressure and so on. That is not good for the eye. The eye has a clear fluid in there that energizes and is the nutrients for the eye. The eye is not structured like some organs that has blood all over and so on. This clear fluid is the energy and the nutrients for the eye. The eye produces this clear fluid on a daily basis. Okay? It is behind the retina, right where the pupil is, and after going, it is provided by the what's the name? Nadim, what's the name of the body that provides the clear fluid? Yes, that provides the something under the body, man. The auxiliary body. It is the Nadim, look beside clear fluid. I wrote down clear. It is the axillary body. Okay? And what's the name of the clear fluid again? Huma. What is it? Okay, this clear fluid is called the axillary huma. That is what it is called, right? And this fluid is used to energize and give the eye the nutrients. Now, there is a junction in the eye where when this fluid travels and reach there from time to time, it is supposed to go to this junction where it is going to be draining off. So it is supposed to go down through some pathway in the eye canals and go on until it leaves the eye. Because what happens from time to time now, these canals that it is supposed to drain off into is obstructed or blocked by something. And when I say something, at times it is the same axillary human that is obstructing the area due to the fact that it is clear and more like a glue-ish type of liquid. So from time to time, if there's any change in the eye where the area is squeezed in any way, it can stop and form a blockade. When it does form that blockade, what it tends to stay there and do is get hard. And when it stays there and get hard now, it forms a bulge there that blocks everything from passing by. And because of that now, when the eye keep producing, right, the fluid that the eye needs for energy and nutrients, you find out that it's not draining off. So because it's not draining off, it keeps building and building because the eye produces that fluid on a daily basis. Consider it this way, like you have this ball, this football, and the eye is the football. The pump that you have is the fluid, and you continue to pump and pump and pump the fluid into the ball, which means you continue to pump the fluid into the eye. When you continue to pump and pump and pump, the amount of air going into the ball, it has nowhere to go. It just continue to go in because there's no leaking, right, of the thing out of the eye, out the fluid out of the eye. There's no way for it to drain away. So it continues to swell and swell and swell the eye pupil. Okay, guys? Now, what is going to happen? The weakest part of the eye pupil will start to bulge, like this left eye right here, right? The weakest part of the eye pupil bulge right here. So when it bulge now, you find out because there is thin and weak, it bulge, and then it continues to grow and grow and grow due to the fact that the pressure is still building because the eye is still producing that liquid to energize the eye. You understand? So it continues to build. After a while, if the pressure is not released, if the pressure is not released after a while, it will then pop or burst. Okay, guys? So that is how the fuel backs up, the liquid backs up in the eye. Now, that's for the glaucoma that has to do with the pressure. The one that you do not see or observe any pressure from, doctors have found out that they are unable to do anything about it because whether they do surgery or prescribe the same medication for you, and bear in mind, guys, the same medication is prescribed for all different types of glaucoma. It does not matter which glaucoma you have, whether you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, any different type of glaucoma you have, the pharmaceutical companies and the doctors decide that they will prescribe all the same medication for glaucoma. It doesn't matter which one, whether it's the one that pressures affect or not, they prescribe the same medication. Okay, guys? Now look, the medication works for the eyes that has the pressure some of the time if you are diagnosed early, which means the diagnosis have been found very early in the stage. The medication will work, but how the medication works is this. The medication slows down the process of the developing glaucoma illness, which means that without the medication, it would be far more advanced going ahead and means it would have destroyed your optic nerves quicker than with the medication, because the medication that you get is now freeing up the pathway in the eye, okay? Those canals there that is supposed to drain off, right? The what the name, the auxiliary humor, right? It is clearing the pathway that it's supposed to do. So you find out that because it is doing that, right, you will have vision a lot longer than if you were not on the medication. Okay, guys? But the doctors have finally informed and admit to us that they are not able to cure glaucoma. All they can do is treat some glaucoma, and some glaucoma is not able to be treated. Even though they prescribe the medication for it and they do the surgery on it, no matter what they do, you're still going to go blind because there is just nothing they can do about some glaucomas. Okay, there's just nothing they are able to do, no matter how much medication you're given, no matter how much surgery is being done, there is nothing that can be done about a certain type of glaucoma. They have not explained what type it is, but the type that we are aware of is the type that has to do with normal tension glaucoma, which means the type that does not receive any abnormal eye pressure. Okay, there's nothing abnormal about the pressure. It is just the normal pressure, the normal um eye look, the normal behavior in every way and structure of the eye. Okay, guys, so when you look at the eye, it is showing normal. When they do the eye pop test, they are seeing normal reading, okay, in the mercury and all of that. But yet still, when they put you on that machine that looks through the eye and see round the back there, okay, where all the optic nerves is concerned and where they are seeing that the optic nerves are still dying. Okay, and what is not dying, some is breaking off, right? So no matter how much medication they are giving you, it will not help. But for some glaucoma, the medication slows down the process. Okay, so without the medication, it would be operating at a faster pace of destroying your optic nerves than with the medication. And those type of glaucomas are the ones that are affected by high pressure. You understand me? So the ones that are affected by high pressure, the medication at times slows down the process, but that is done when the glaucoma has been discovered early, in the early stage. Okay, now you would be wondering to yourself, if that is the case, why is it that medications are being prescribed for all glaucomas? And I would like to know the same, because listen, for years and years, no one told us that hypertension can cause a person glaucoma to develop. No one told us that, sorry, no one told us that old age can cause glaucoma to develop in a person, right? They normally told us that glaucoma is passed on, right, through genes, which means from family members or relatives, so it's passed down. You understand me? Now they are finally admitting that they are not even sure how a person gets glaucoma, but they know and they are sure about a few risk factors. Also, to make matters worse, they have gone ahead and admitted that persons that are likely to have glaucoma are from the African and Hispanic nations. So you understand what is happening? They are saying the persons that are likely to develop glaucoma most of the time are persons that is of African and Hispanic heritage. That is what they have discovered. Okay, guys? Now, for me, some 24 years ago, when I went to get my glaucoma check done. I remember that I was asked if I had diabetes. Right? I said no, because I don't know of myself having any diabetes. I was still given a piece of paper to go to the blood bank and do the check for diabetes. When I did the check, it was shown that that was negative. There was no diabetes where I was concerned. Now, after that was being shown, I realized that, okay, I thought to myself, well, from I do not have diabetes, that simply means that there is a chance that my glaucoma will not deteriorate. Okay, I have already lost one eye, and I thought to myself that, okay, the other eye can be saved. Okay, with that in mind, I tried my earnest best and my hardest to buy any of the drops I was prescribed. Now, let me tell you something, guys, and I will tell you and listen carefully and understand. I was prescribed 5 drops, 2 sets of tablet, but even though my left eye was totally blind and did not work, I was prescribed drops for the left eye and drops for the right eye. Okay? Some of the drops had to be refrigerated. Okay? So I had to stay very close to home just to make sure that I could go in the fridge, use the drops, and then leave for work. You understand me? Because some had to be refrigerated. Even though one eye was completely blind already, there was still drops prescribed for that eye as well as the eye that was not blind. Okay, from time to time, trying to obtain these drops was very impossible. And when I say impossible, they were too expensive for me to afford. And sometimes I could get maybe 2 for one eye and 1 for the other eye and not get the other 2 based on the amount the drops cost. You understand me? So I know that persons that are having this kind of challenge, this kind of illness is having challenge as well. And I must say, now, 24 years after, I realized that yes, things have been a bit different. Things have been made a bit easier where medication is concerned, and affordability is different because in this day and age, some person is able to pay $8,000 for a drops or $20,000 for an eye drops. But at the time, 24 years ago, when I was told, one drops was for $8,000 and I could not afford that. You understand me? There was no way I could afford that drops. There was no job surf, there was no free medication, there was no free healthcare assistance, nothing like that. When these situations came up and I was made aware of the glaucoma issue. Guys, so now, when we look in this day and age now, I am glad that if we should discover our diagnosis, or we should be diagnosed early where glaucoma is concerned, and we are able to access these eye drops, then the progress of the glaucoma will slow down. And because of this, I am grateful. Okay, I'm grateful. And the doctors have started encouraging everyone to do an eye check every year. They have said that for persons who have eyes in their head, they are supposed to do an eye check every year to make sure that if there is any such illness, such as glaucoma or otherwise, it will be discovered early so they can assist with the necessary medication to prolong your vision. Okay, guys? Now, that means that if your situation is found in the early stage and medication is prescribed, you might be able to live a full and meaningful life with your sight. So you might be able to die, and when you die, you are still seeing. Okay? Some in some cases are some type of glaucoma that will not be possible because no matter what surgery, what drops, or what laser treatment is done, the optic nerves will continue to die until there is none left and there is no connection between the eye and the part of the brain that deals with vision. Okay, for some. Now, persons that are using glaucoma medication need to be aware. The glaucoma medication says on some of the boxes that we are to take the medication like a few hours before operating any machines or any mechanical instrument or driving and so on. They said this due to the fact that once you put these drops into your eyes, guys, let me tell you, it takes a toll on your body. It takes a toll on your eyes. You feel sleepy for the entire time. And now you are going to be using these drops every 12 hours or every 8 hours for your lifetime. It's not something that you're going to be using today and stop next month. No, it's a lifetime situation, right? So you are going to have to get used to these drops, get used to the time when they are taken and the effects that they are going to have on your body, on your eyes. Now, if you have ever used an eye drops or an eye wash, you would have realized that when you drop these things into your eyes, after a few minutes, you start smelling these drops and they do not smell pleasant. Also, you feel something run down into your nostrils. And after running down into your nostril, then you feel it gradually drain away. You also feel something run down into the back of your throat. And no matter how good your food tastes, whatsoever that comes down into your mouth, make any food that you're going to be eating or that you're eating taste very bad. It doesn't have that nice, pleasant taste anymore. That is because the drops, after they do what they are supposed to do in the eye, they drain away. Okay, guys, so they drain down through the nasal canal and come. So the eyes, if you were to think about it, you would have realized that the eyes are connected to your nose, it's connected to the back of your throat, it's connected to your mouth, it's connected to the brain. It has pathway and canals leading all over. That is how the eyes are. Okay, guys. Now, glaucoma is a very, 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 very slow and destructive condition. Glaucoma is so slow and subtle that you will not know you have glaucoma until it's too late. And that is the reason why doctors ask that you do an eye check every year, because it is very slow. And when you find out about it, it will already be too late. Okay, it will would have already destroyed enough of the optic nerves to leave you with a few years worth of sight when you discover it. Or one eye might already be gone, or the optic nerves might be totally detached from the brains to the point that when they do see it, they are going to tell you that it's not connected to the brains anymore. The optic nerve is totally disconnected from the brains. Now, It slowly destroys your vision. You are unaware of what it is doing or the destruction that is taking place where glaucoma is concerned. And because our brain, and let me tell you something now, the first sign of glaucoma destroying your sight or vision has to do with your peripheral, peripheral vision, which means the vision from the side. When it starts to destroy the vision from the side. It destroys ear first. And I am talking from experience and also studies. When it done destroying from the side, it then comes to the top. So you will find out that a person that has glaucoma normally does not see the sky very often unless it's like the sky comes down to meet the sea and you're at the seafront and you're looking at it. But a normal person would open their eye and glimpse some of the sky above and glimpse something over there. But with glaucoma, if it starts taking the peripheral vision, it will be from top, from sides, and from bottom. That's how it works. So it takes away vision from the sides completely and then leave a bit in the middle. Now, when that is done now, you are now left with a condition called tunnel vision. Okay, so persons will go to do a check, and when they do the check, the doctors will say, okay, yes, you have glaucoma, but you are now in a stage where you are having tunnel vision, which means the peripheral vision is already lost, and now it's just the direct vision looking forward is left. Now, understand, guys, that due to this, you will not at times even recognize that you're still going blind because the brain starts to compensate for your sight. What do I mean by the brain start to compensate for your sight? All right, listen and understand. Follow me, guys. You're losing vision from the sides, and you're losing vision from the sides. And hold on, before I go there, let me tell you something. I am totally blind, but my brain still does not recognize that. Oh no. My brain has never told me that, listen me, my youth, you're totally blind. No. My brains continue to tell me that I am seen and there's something right there and if you pick it up. And sometimes when I put me on, there's nothing there. My brains is always telling me that it is daylight and the place is bright. All when the place dark, it is saying the place is bright. So at times my brain is telling me to move, go there, and things is still there. Things are above. Things, listen, door is open in front and stand directly in front of me, and the door is directly in front of me. And if I walk ahead, I am going to bounce right into the door, mash up my forehead and so on. And my brain is still telling me to go forward. You understand me? That is how the brain is. So the brains now try to compensate. Now, when you have already lost the vision from the sides, right, all around the eye, what the brain does, when you are supposed to look sideways, it tells you to turn your head. So you're still not recognizing that instead of turning your eyes, because when you have vision, what you normally do is turn your eyes this way and turn your eyes that way. But because the vision is already gone, right, and the brain isn't catching up so quickly. The brain tells you, instead of turning your eyes, turn your head and look. So you will find that you're turning your head to look down there, turning when normally, you would have some persons that would be like this and then turn them eyes so and I look over this so and them and see where you do over the side here so, and then can say, you think me not see you? But they did not turn their head. But the person who is losing their vision through glaucoma, the brain is not going to tell them to turn them eyes to look. The brain is going to say, turn your head. So you have to turn your head and look. You understand me? So enough of the time, you will not recognize that you're losing your vision. Okay? And I am speaking from experience, guys. I am speaking from experience. You understand? It's not something that anyone tells me. It's something that I know for a fact. Okay? Now, the pharmaceutical companies do not want you and I to know that whether the glaucoma is treatable or not, right? You do not have to use the medication. Once they describe that the doctors diagnosed you as having glaucoma, the prescription is written and you are put on a lifetime supply of drops and tablets, even when they will not help. Even when no matter what you put in your eyes, your optic nerves will die. You are still prescribed and put on this lifetime supply or dosage of drops and tablets. Okay, guys? Now, if you look at this, right, it makes no sense for you to be placed on when there is no benefit. But they will not tell you that because it sells no medication. Okay, guys, it sells no medication, right? When your optic nerves dies off, there is nothing that can be done. And what we need to now start doing as scientists and doctors is to examine and investigate in finding a medicine that can prevent the optic nerves of the eye from dying, or a medicine that will regrow or reattach the optic nerves back to the vision section of the brain. Now, if they are able to find this breakthrough, you understand me, then this would be a revolutionized medication due to the fact that persons would not have to go blind due to this type of eye disease. You understand? Because if there is a medication that can stop the optic nerves from dying off, any stage the optic nerves was when you started taking that medication, then that means your sight would be stable at that stage. Okay, but I believe that even if it was to be discovered, it might not be made public. And here are the reasons why. For this medication, it might be one, right? One type of medication. And this one type of medication, you could do millions and billions of dosage, and millions of and billions of dosage that are done, right, will then be dropped into an individual eye and would have stopped the progress are the destruction of the optic nerves and hold it at a steady pace where it will stop deteriorating, okay, or it would start to bring back life into the optic nerves or regrow the nerves so it can make meaningful connection. And listen, guys, I do not think it is impossible, because doctors and scientists have found way to regrow here. You understand me? They have found ways to do a lot of things that we thought would be impossible. So I do not think this is impossible. I just believe that they are not willing to spend enough money going into this aspect of research due to the fact that they are making enough money or excess amount of money, putting out the necessary medication that they have already come up with to contain the pressure. So they are not even interested in going into any further research, to find out what can be done to prevent the condition completely or to make sure that there is a permanent pause in the destruction of the condition called glaucoma. Understand, if you make 1 drops and the 1 drops can stop the progress, then the Timaptic, the Travatan, the Zalatan, the Imad, all form of medication that is already out there would be made obsolete. They would not be necessary. You understand what I'm saying, guys? They would not be necessary. The laser treatment would not be necessary. The surgeries that are done are surgeries geared to relieve the pressure in the eye. And when those surgeries are done, they are tubes that are inserted into areas of the eye to drain the fluid from the cornea. Okay, guys? That is what the surgery is for. So even the surgery that is being done is to contain and control the pressure. So the drops is to contain or control the pressure. The surgery is to control the pressure. The laser treatment is to do the same. So if you realize all the medications that are there are geared towards controlling the pressure. So the person that has, right, the normal eye pressure, glaucoma, is still being prescribed the same medication and the same surgery and laser treatment is done for that same person when there is no pressure there to control and nothing that they can do. But the doctors will not tell you that. They will put you on the list for the surgery. They will go ahead and do the surgery and do everything that they want to do and collect their funds or their money and leave you at the end of the day still going blind. Okay? That is just the norm of the situation there. Okay, guys? They will not come and say, listen, it has been very difficult for doctors to admit for a number of years right now that they do not know what causes glaucoma. They had always stated that it was passed down through heredity, which means it is passed down from parents or grandparents and so on. Right? For them to come out now and said, listen, it's a medical mystery. We do not know what causes glaucoma, but we know that, persons that has these issues can develop glaucoma. It means that they are admitting that they did not know all along. You understand me? It means that they are saying all along when we see somebody with glaucoma, we send them to do diabetes tests, which means we check if their blood sugar is okay or it is too high. And really and truly, we should have been checking for their blood pressure, because if the eye pressure is high, that obviously means that there might be something there that is causing the eye pressure to be high, and they should be checking to find what the underlying issue was. You understand me? Instead of just stating that glaucoma is caused by some parent genes being passed down to the child or the grandchild or from the ancestor, and leaving it at that. They could have gone ahead to do further studies. You understand? They thought to themselves that once you're old, it is okay for you to develop glaucoma. You understand me? I just think, yes, the eye trauma might be the cause of the glaucoma. But it is now being found out that, listen, they were reading this thing wrong all along. And even though that is the case, there is only one type of medication that is developed, and that medication is geared to odds. The procedure and the surgery is geared to odds persons that are experienced pressure.
Dean, and everyone will see you at the short challenge next month. August for that.
Okay, yes, Koga. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you coming. And I will close the live in about 5 minutes' time. I must say, guys, I greatly appreciate you coming to my live stream. And I am speaking to you from, yes, I am speaking to you from the bottom of my heart when I said, I do not wish glaucoma, the condition, on anyone whatsoever. And I pray that all you guys, once you have two eyes, get your eyes checked on a regular basis. The doctor said every year, but if you want to check it every 2 years, just have a check done. Okay, guys? Please note that if for any reason whatsoever you should have any eye trauma, which means that somebody punch you in the eye, your eye hit a door or something poke you in the eye, you need to make sure you check, because the the eyes have almost 1,000 or more than 1,000, right? Optic nerves connection, and that can break some of them. And if some of them break that way, those nerves that are broken will start dying. You understand me? And if they dies off, you're going to be having a problem. So you need to check to find out what drops you will need, to make sure that anything that is occurring is slowed down. Okay, guys? Now, to everyone who is new to this channel, I am asking that you continue to visit my channel from time to time. If you have subscribed, please know that I will go to your platform or to your house, and I will try my best and look at your content and make sure that I return your subscription and continue to support you as best as I can, guys. So please try to subscribe, like, and share. I am a person who is always fear and believe in supporting all the persons whom try their best to support me. Whether you support me or not, I try to support anyway. But now that you're here, I am asking you to please give me your continued support, and I will make sure that I try my best to give you my continued support. Please, guys, do not say you subscribe and you do not subscribe, please subscribe to my channel and assist me with going further where YouTube is concerned, because I have a lot of meaningful content that I really want to put out there, and I believe that with you guys I can go a very far way. Thank you very much, my friend Goga. Thank you very much, Misha. Thank you, Keris. Thank you, Simone TV. A lot of persons that came over with Goga. I must say thank you, Red's Room. Thank you, everyone that came over. I appreciate your support and your love and the fact that you came over and spent the time with me. I know that I have gone over a few things that I did already, but that's just me. I have to let you guys know what I am about. So thanks very much. Guys, I will see you another day
On YouTube Street.
at another time. Appreciate your support. Thanks very much. Nadine, could you please close this live for me? Bye. Bye, guys.